But we're going to get into a little buy or sell. Are you ready for this?
Let's get into it.
All
Let's
right, we
have
got
some
a
fun.
little buy or sell brought to you by our friends over at Panini. If you need any of the trading cards for anybody, that includes all sports. That includes soccer. We got a World Cup coming up in 2026. You may want to get some cards for that. That's your place to check out, paniniamerica.net. All right, let's get into this one, which makes me so happy to start here because Bryce Young put some respect on my boy's name. Put some respect on my boy's name after a top-tier performance, and everybody writing this man off. They are a half game behind the Bucs and 1 game behind the Packers. Buy or sell, the Panthers will make the playoffs, Keith.
I never thought I would say this, but I am buying the Carolina
Yeah.
Panthers making the playoffs. And big reason is this, that they still have divisional games to play, and they play in the worst division in all of football, right? So I think they're going to find some easy wins there. The Tampa Bay Bucks, they're just simply injured, right? And you've seen it when they played the Buffalo Bills. They just ran out of gas. They just didn't have their dogs. The Atlanta Falcons, I'm pretty sure we have a topic coming up about them coming up next. That looks like it's dysfunctional, right? It's a lot of talent, but they don't have an identity in the direction. Plus, Michael Penix is injured, and New Orleans Saints is the definition of a dumpster fire right now, right? Like they're 5 years away from being 5 years away. The New Orleans Saints. So I think the Carolina Panthers have a real shot to make the playoffs, and the NFC West is going to be tough, but the NFC West may beat up on each other, and then Carolina playing in the South, it allows them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with you. I'm buying this. I'm
Yep.
in agreement. I think they will win the division, honestly, because of the
Mm.
injuries the Buccaneers have suffered. And also this. We've been waiting for Xavier Legette to have a game like he had. And this was
Yep.
a breakout game. If him and Territo McMillan, who they drafted in the first round this past year, can continue to play like this, and Rico Dowdle's running the football the way that they are, this is a very explosive team. And they're going to feast on the divisional games. And like you said, I think they take care of business. And unfortunately for the Bucs, they've just suffered too many injuries, and they're trending in the wrong direction. But
Yep.
next one here, Raheem Morris will stay in the division. Raheem Morris will be fired before next season. Buy or sell?
Unfortunately, I'm a buy it, and obviously, I
Yeah,
always root for a minority coach, right? Especially
yep,
a guy like Raheem Morris, who you've heard
me too.
nothing but great things about. But the lack of identity, I think, is going to catch up with him. Talking about from an offensive perspective, and I go back all the way to last year, and when they had the Netflix series, right? And it was the transition from Kirk Cousins to Michael Penix, and you're sitting there, and you're like, wait, they were still in playoff contention when they made that transition, right? Now, there were rumors if Kirk Cousins was hurt or not, but I would have rolled Kirk Cousins a little bit more just to see if we can get into that 7 seed or 6 seed, right? And I think coming into this year, you're almost not granted the time. Just to kind of let Michael Penix develop. So I think fans expected to win a lot this year, and that's not happening. So I don't know if he'll make it past this year. I don't feel confident in it at all.
Yeah, just like you said, I can't echo this. I hate talking about a coach losing a job before they have,
Hmm.
and especially like you said, a minority coach who has a great reputation as far as who he is as a human being. I just don't think that they didn't plan properly with the Kirk Cousins stuff last year. I think they pushed play on Michael Penix a little too early, and I think it's coming back to bite them now. Michael Penix out for the full year, and we all know how this goes. People are very impatient, and unfortunately, I think for Raheem, his side of the football has done really well, which sometimes will save your job, but I don't think if they continue to play this way, they're going to make it. He's going to make it through this offseason. So unfortunately, for our guy that we really like, I'm going to buy that as well. All right, the next one here, the Bengals should not play Joe Burrow again this season. Buy or sell?
Uh I'm gonna say buy. And I'm gonna say buy because I doubt that they'll be in playoff contention. And at this point, you're running them out there for what, right? Like you're
Correct.
not getting anywhere. And it's not like Joe Flacco isn't giving you a good look. He's spreading the football around. So
Yep.
you almost see exactly what your team kind of could be, right? Obviously, if it is
Yeah.
it better with Joe Burrow? Yes, it's better, but you're still getting a decent look to know what your team is, and the team is still the same. You got two great wide receivers, right? You have a good offense, and you have a bad defense that can't stop
Mhm.
anybody. So this is where you land, and I don't think Joe Burrow is going to help that out. They need an off season of upgrades.
Come here, Cincinnati. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. Y'all have not protected your quarterback. I am buy. Can't hit the buy button faster. This is not a team that's going to the postseason. How many injuries do you have to watch happen to Joe Burrow before you let him get fully healthy? I know that Joe Burrow is going to push to come back in. You're going to need to save him from himself. This is not a team that's going to win football games. You're dealing with Jamar Chase, who's now on a 1-game suspension after the spitting incident that he dealt with. You guys have a culture problem, very clearly, and you have things to fix. This is not a team that's going to the postseason. This is not a team that knows what they are. They need to re-identify and, most importantly, build around Joe Burrow being healthy. And this is not worth it. Him being injured is not worth it to go through and win maybe 1 or 2 games at the end of the season to do what? This team is not going to the postseason. I understood why you activated him. If you had been able to pull off any of the last few wins, sure, you didn't. Now you're not in that position anymore. And like you said, I don't know that we're going to see Joe Flacco's putting up crazy numbers. It's like when you think about as much as Joe Burrow is an upgrade, offensively, when you look at the Bears game, how much more could Joe Burrow have done in that game versus what Joe Flacco did? That's not the problem. They're in the same position they were last season, and now you need to actually identify and make changes in the offseason. But I'm sure Cincinnati will continue to Cincinnati, so hopefully for Joe Burrow's sake, he stays out of the game. All right, last one here. Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL, buy or sell?
This one was so tough for me, but I'm going to buy it. And I was really close because I wanted to give a nod to Matthew Stafford, but I'm going to buy the Josh Allen. To go 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, account for 6 touchdowns, right? He just threw his name right back in the hat for MVP once again, right? And see if he can go back-to-back MVP. But when you watch that football game against the Tampa Bay Bucks, you sat there and said there's nothing he can't do. And the Buffalo Bills didn't even start the half off great. That first half was just explosive plays, right? But it was Josh Allen creating those explosive plays. So he showed that he can elevate an entire offense, which we knew already, but then taking over a football game and controlling it. He just outpaced the Tampa Bay Bucks, and his defense couldn't get a lot of stops. And he said, don't worry about it. I'll put it on my back. I'll run if I have to. I'll throw the football if I have to. Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
Can't hit by fast enough. This was the guy that I would have told you at the beginning of the year if I was making a list. This is one of one. Josh Allen has proven that he is the definition of a superstar in the NFL. And this was the reminder to the Buffalo Bills that sometimes you got to let him be him. Sometimes you got to let Josh go be great. And I know that they've adapted and changed things over time to make sure that he's, not turning the ball over and he's not taking as many hits. But Josh is a special player, and he is sometimes going to have to do special things to carry this team. And that's where this team was. They were in a position where Keon Coleman is not in this game. They already have very few weapons on offense to get the football. He spread the ball around. And when you talk about accounting for 6 touchdowns for the second time in his career, something that has only been done by one other player who I think is named Otto in the 1950s.
Yeah, Otto Graham.
Yeah, Otto Graham in the 1950s or whatever the hell he was playing. Yeah, I think Josh Allen has proven time and time again that there is nothing that he cannot do, and he is the definition of being able to make special plays and carry a team when you need to. And even Cam Newton could not get over how much he loves this player. I was shocked to hear how much Cam was praising on Josh Allen. So I think he sees a little of himself in his game, as he was alluding to.
Yeah, in that game, he passed Cam Newton for the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in NFL history. He broke the record. Yeah, in that game, which was pretty crazy.
Because look at how much time he's got left. He's nowhere near retirement. Like, you're talking about this guy is in the prime of his career. So this is pretty impressive what Josh Allen's been able to do. And he's strong, can make every throw in the book, and by all accounts seems to be like the best teammate on earth.